Leo, today you are in the spotlight both outwardly and within. This is not a day to prove anything to the world. It is a day to finally hear yourself. Your inner voice can ring louder than applause, and a pause may give you more strength than a speech. Your power is not only in charisma or confidence, it lives in your ability to be honest with yourself, to admit that carrying the weight all the time is tiring, and to allow the wish to be understood, held, and noticed without asking. That isn't weakness, it's maturity. Sometimes you worry that if you relax, everything will collapse because you're used to holding everyone and everything together. But who are you when you set it all down and sit quietly with yourself? Today is meant for discovering that, not with self-criticism, but with a gentle, truthful gaze inward. What are you feeling? What have you wanted for a long time but kept postponing? Why did you wake today with the thought that something has to change? The world may send you signs, symbols, a passing phrase from someone, a scene you stumble upon, that feel like precise answers to questions you haven't spoken aloud. Pause and listen. It's not random. Leos often receive support just when they've stopped expecting it. It may not even come from people, but from within, a sudden knowing, an image, a memory, a dream that suddenly explains everything. Today, it is especially important to tell yourself the truth. Not the polished, I'm fine version, but the quieter, deeper truth that lives under the surface. Sometimes it doesn't form words, it feels like warmth in your chest, a slight knot in your stomach, a pull to leave, start fresh, or put down a heavy load. Don't ignore it. That is your real self, not the role others expect, but the living, breathing you. Advice of the day: don't be afraid to be tender. Your softness is your honesty, and honesty grants a stability that can't be bought, faked, or forgotten. A person who is at peace with themselves is trusted, respected, and naturally followed. And today marks the beginning of a quiet inner renewal. Subtle, but essential. There are moments when the outer world stills, small talk loses its flavor, and routine no longer distracts you. You're left with a question that won't go away: what comes next? Today may feel like that. It isn't always comfortable, but it's necessary. Not to hear yourself as a hero or leader holding the line, but as a human being who sometimes wants to set the armor down, not forever, just long enough to rest. The energy of the day favors soul rest through acceptance, accepting your fatigue, your kindness, your sensitivity. What you've hidden behind a smile or a bit of sarcasm may surface. Not to break you, but to remind you that you're not alone. The universe hears even what you don't say and sends replies. They may not arrive in the form you expected, but they will carry meaning you recognize immediately. It's especially helpful today to jot down the thoughts that arrive suddenly, or to stop midday, close your eyes, and simply breathe. That isn't mysticism, it's a way of returning to yourself, because a Leo who is in harmony embodies both strength and nobility, confidence and kindness. This is the ideal moment to realign your inner compass. You might feel a pull toward solitude, memories, old letters, or anything that once truly touched you. Don't push it away. Sometimes memory isn't an escape, it's a bridge by which your soul comes home. That is when you'll remember what you actually want. A parable: the lion came back to the sage in silence. He didn't ask anything, just met the sage's gaze. The sage nodded. Did you find the answer? Silence isn't always emptiness. Sometimes it runs deeper than words. The ones who are real hear you even when you say nothing. You may speak less today, but your actions will say more. Others will feel your presence. The transmission of power without strain, warmth without words. That is its own kind of magic, impossible to imitate. Every small movement can become a step toward yourself. Even walking down the street, you can walk mindfully, listening to your thoughts, noticing which feelings surface. There's no need to fix them or strive to be better. Today isn't about self-improvement. It's about returning to the dreams that were once sincere but later seemed ill-timed, awkward, or inappropriate. They are still part of you. If you feel the spark again at the mere thought of them, not all is lost. Sometimes a Leo's strength appears in what you don't do, not fighting, not arguing, not proving, not dragging along those who refuse to move. Simply being yourself and fully present. It's harder than it sounds because the world demands hustle and triumph. But you can allow yourself to stop, not because you've surrendered, but because you understand that what matters is born in quiet. You may feel gratitude for no particular reason or a tender longing, as if something important is close but not yet formed. Don't run from it. That's your soul breathing. It's a sign that your intuition is waking. Trust it even one step, and it will lead you somewhere both beautiful and right. Today you can forgive someone, or yourself. It isn't a sign of weakness but an act of release, because resentments are old shackles that weigh you down. Only those who travel light go far. Let yourself put the weight down. Let yourself become lighter. If someone from the past reappears, it's not accidental. They aren't here to stay. They're here to show you how you've changed so you can see yourself with new eyes and recognize your growth. Thank them inwardly and keep moving. You have a chance now to live differently. Without reruns, without pain, without guilt. A small wish could come true today. Not a loud one, but the quiet kind you tucked away in a corner of your heart. The universe remembers, and it favors those who keep faith even without speaking. The exit from the old loop begins with an inner "I'm ready," not for heroics, but for a life where you don't play a role, you simply live. Today is your invitation not to chase perfection, not to seek approval, not to fear being misunderstood, but to be yourself. Calm, gentle, confident, loving. If you've longed for something yet hesitated to admit it, say it today, even in a whisper, and let the universe hear. It hears everything said from the heart. It answers, not always fast, but always true. And you, Leo, can sense when something real is near. The parable continues. The lion returned at last not with a question but with a story, how he stopped roaring, began to listen, and allowed himself to be alive. The sage smiled and said, "Now you are not just a lion, you are the sovereign of your inner world." From then on the lion walked differently. He was respected not for brute strength but for wisdom, and loved for the warmth he no longer hid. So can you. You can be strong, but no longer obligated, radiant, but not blinding, a support, but only when it comes from the heart and not from duty. If something here spoke to you today, it's not by accident. It means the time has come. Stop waiting and start living quietly, consciously, and genuinely. And let 10 October 2025 be the day you say, "And back with myself, and it feels right."